Weapons had the perfect recipe for a modern horror mystery. An A-list cast, eerie tension, and a plot dripping with potential. But somewhere along the way, it trades its sharp edge for a dull finish.
Think Hereditary meets Glass Onion, but without the knockout twist. In this video, we'll break down why Weapons starts strong, builds suspense like a pro, and then fumbles in the final act. All right, welcome back to the show. So, War, tell us what this movie's about.
All right, well, when all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance.
All right, so let's talk about the cast. So, how do you feel about Julia Gardner in this role?
Yeah, she was a great pick. She really held. I wanted more screen time with her, honestly. Like, it felt like she just didn't have. One of my biggest rebuttals about the film is just all the characters. There was too many characters, and they should have just zoned in on just a few of them. But we'll get into that a bit more. But she definitely was one of the major stars in the film that, for me, held the movie and carried it.
Yeah, definitely did. I thought it was interesting how they made her kind of like a rebel. Like, she didn't follow the rules ever. She liked to break the rules. Mm-hmm. Whenever someone told her she couldn't do something, she would go and do it instead. That was an interesting play in this movie as well. And then I love Josh Brolin. I think he did a pretty good job for his role, too, as the troubled dad.
Yeah, he was my second favorite character in the film as well. I definitely did like how Julia Gardner's character, like, she basically, with everyone trashing around the town and everything, she still held her own. And she didn't really care what everyone was thinking or let it weigh her down. She just kept pushing forward. That was pretty neat. I thought they did a good job with that, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she just kept moving forward. And, trying to figure out what was going on her own without anyone, giving her permission to do so. She was just doing whatever she wanted. It was kind of crazy. I thought that was an interesting play in this movie. Oh, yeah, one more thing. How did you feel about Austin Abram?
His character was unique. It was fun to have him in the movie, but I honestly feel like it didn't carry a whole lot. He did his role well, though, overall. So I don't have like any hate towards him.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be like comedic relief.
Definitely was comedic
junkie
relief.
Kind of role. And you know what? He's become a fan favorite though. And I did see an announcement that he's going to be in the new Resident Evil movie as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, it seems like the performance, he portrayed in this movie is, a lot of people accepted it pretty well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully we get more from him going forward. He could be, another big star. So the first hour of the movie is great. It builds tension, fear throughout the eyes of the teacher and the father. It's not about cheap scares, but a slow-growing tension of something's wrong. And I really like that feeling it kind of built. It was more of like a paranormal, like ghost, scary kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of loud noises, a lot of jumps in the beginning. So it set like a really interesting tone at the start where you kind of were like you were trying to figure out what was actually going on.
Yeah, the first half of the movie was great. Honestly, I think that was my favorite part of the movie was the first half. It's somewhere along the lines there that it kind of derailed. But I think the one scene I did enjoy the most, and it was cool and mysterious, was the kids running around in the end of the night. I get the point of it. It felt a little too long. That was really the beginning, the intro, but it wasn't bad. It definitely gave me a lot of like Goosebump vibes.
Yes, it was like story time.
Like story time.
Like, let me tell you a story.
Yeah. So I liked all of that. The tension, the mystery was going on. Like the sound track that they put, it was really good. It really had me going. Like I said, the first half was just really well done.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any reviews or really read anything about the movie. So I kind of thought maybe someone was stealing the children or possessing the children, kind of like an It situation.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, these children are waking up in the night or running out their houses. Mm-hmm. There's an It-like figure that's stealing them from their beds, and they're going to battle some ghost creature going forward. Because that's the kind of like the portrayal it kind of gave you, right? With the dreams and the random things jumping out at the night. So that's the kind of image I was getting in my head. But one other thing, how did you like the whole Naruto run thing?
Yo, I thought I was the only one who noticed that. So I went into the movie blind too. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't do any research. I just went into it because that's how I like to watch certain movies, especially horror films, right? But I thought that was one of the funniest takes for the film.
Yeah,
I was like, what? And it made me laugh because it went on for almost like a 2-minute scene of them just running through the night, and all the different ring cams and the cams capturing them all and all that. But it was so funny.
That the whole ring cam capturing them kind of spilled the beans a bit that it wasn't something too paranormal.
Yeah.
Because like normally, right, in ghost movies, the camera would mysteriously stop working.
Right. That's a good point.
So I was like, oh, they're on camera. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I liked it. I thought it added another level of understanding without trying to tell people. Like just showing it on camera, it was like, okay, now we know that these kids just walked out. There's proof. Everyone knows in town. The cops probably looked at this footage. Like it set the stage for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was cool, but yeah, it was pretty funny how they did that. The whole movie had a lot of themes of grief and sadness.
Yeah,
throughout.
like the meeting they had in the school kind of like set the tone for like the town being angry with her and upset, and which I could see happen because like all the kids did disappear in her classroom.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have questions like why in just only this classroom. So I did like that tone that was set there. I kind of guessed that would happen before it happened, which was nice to actually see it happen because that's where I was already thinking in my head. I'm like, all these kids just disappear in her classroom. Yeah, they're gonna give her some hell for this.
Right, and it launched right into that after the running scene, if I'm not mistaken. Like that was the first scene that started, and that was a good way to spin off the movie. There was a lot of parallels in a weird way, in my opinion, at least from like the setting and how it was being portrayed, at least the beginning quarter of the film, to like school shootings. In today's modern age, the whole school's there and tensed up. They're all blaming the faculty, and the staff about, and it's just the sad appearance.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, it was a lot of parallels to like modern day school shootings. Very sad situation to be in, but it looked like they tried to get that type of like energy that would, basically happen around the community and bring it to this movie, which also made it very confusing too.
Yeah. I mean, it made it confusing, but it added to the whole layers.
Yeah, I think they wanted us to be confused though.
Yeah. And it built the tension, the mystery, the tension, like what's going on, what's happening. Like that's why I said the first half of the movie was so good, how they were building it.
I was really liking the first half of the movie. I seen some people that were disappointed, but when I was watching the movie, the first half convinced me that they were all wrong. I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be a great movie. Like the story was good, the vibe, and just the scenes and the way they were doing things. Even up to her, sleeping with the officer on his time off.
Right. Yeah. That's right. So yeah. Let's get into Paul, if that's not mistaken. I think that was his name.
Yeah, Paul.
Right? Yeah, I didn't understand why they even gave him I understand that why they had him there a bit because they needed to have some type of law enforcement involved in all this.
Yeah, I think Paul and James were comedic relief, in my opinion, or just to make the characters seem like they have more substance or more life to them, other than what we saw.
I guess so. I mean, my least favorite character was Paul, then followed by Andrew. There really was just no point to have Paul. Like they could have just had Justine's character just fill up more of that gap and have him as a side character in her storyline instead of like divvying a whole section of the movie just for him. I get that he was cheating on his wife with her, and I mean we didn't even get a whole lot of
honestly, I really didn't like how they did Paul.
Yeah.
Like they did him dirty. You know what I'm saying? They really did though, right? Like Paul had they did him dirty, bro. He was a cheater. He had anger problems. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he just gets like zombified like right away. No battle, no fight. Like his ending was tragic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I guess if you put it that way, it definitely was.
Yeah.
It definitely was. All right, well, before we move along, please join our community by hitting that subscribe button and that bell below. All right, Ghost, well, let's talk about the turning point.
So the movie builds up like a Jenga tower, carefully constructed and thrilling. But instead of satisfying the ending, the third act just knocks everything down. I thought that was a strange way of doing things. Because like we said, we liked the beginning, right? We liked the first half of the movie. But then by the third act, things started to get a little strange. I think what set me off was the rifle in the sky.
Yeah, to this day, I have no idea why they even added that graphic. I mean, I get that. I guess it was the countdown to show of when it occurred. But,
Yeah.
But why? Like,
Well, first of all, this is what bothers me about that whole scene. If she's in their minds, giving them dreams and making them see things, which I think that was happening. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. Was that happening? Because that's what I thought, right?
Yeah.
Well, because why else would they have these haunting scenes if it wasn't her involved? Like, they're just throwing ghosts up in the air or something?
Specifically the witch.
Yeah, exactly. The witch. But, okay, so if that scene was her doing, she just told on herself. Like, she literally just told that she's the one that stole his son. She's in the bed. He sees her. It's not like she was hiding in someone else's body or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought that was kind of silly. Like, she just gave the whole plot up to him.
I think they added certain scenes like that for tension because it is a horror film, and I think they needed to add some pop-up scares and
Yeah, I know.
supernatural, paranormal stuff here and there.
That whole scene, that was when it started to get a little iffy for me.
I think one of the biggest part for me was when Gladys was introduced. Because that killed the tension throughout the whole movie.
Oh yeah, when she just popped up out of nowhere.
She popped up out of nowhere. I think the first scene was the principal's office. Mm-hmm. She was in the principal's office explaining to the principal that she was with the kid and and the parents and all that.
Yeah, parents are sick. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, so right off the bat, like they just killed all the tension because now we know. Oh, well, hold on, who's that? Okay, and it.
Yeah, you already knew. As soon as you saw her, you're like, oh, okay, here's the bad guy. Looks like the Joker.
And they could have kept it going. They could have kept it more cryptic. They could have drawn it out into the actual final ending of the film and then reveal her in some type of way. But by bringing her there, it's kind of like they gave away the whole tension of the film of you trying to yourself to unravel what's going on throughout the film.
Yeah, that whole scene to introduce her, I think, was to show her power. Because she took the couple, the principal, and made him kill his partner. Mm-hmm. So it was trying to introduce her abilities. That's at least what I gathered what they were trying to do. But you're right, because after she popped up, after she shows her abilities, you're like, okay, I kind of know what's happening now.
Yeah, they kind of spoon feed you the rest of the film. Like after you the first half, they spoon feed you everything else.
All right, you're ready, kids. You can have the rest of it.
Yeah, and it's like they built it up so far, like your analogy, and then the Jenga tower just freaking crashed all over when they started doing that.
It left no place for imagination anymore.
Exactly. And when they built the stage so much for imagination, it's just that was, in my opinion, the biggest part of the turning point that just started flatlining.
Yeah, I agree with you. So it's definitely that dream he had. And then, Gladys's introduction, it was just like, okay, we have everything we need. We don't need anything else after that. Yeah. So are we satisfied? I don't know. You guys comment. Let us know how you feel about that.
All right. Well, let's talk about the why. The change may have been an attempt to give the movie a shocking finale, but it ends up simplifying things. The film starts by exploring real-world horrors, grief, suspicion, but the ending feels too fast-paced and it doesn't fit the build-up.
Yeah, I agree. I think the house scene where they were battling in the house.
Mm-hmm. The grand finale.
Exactly. When they go in the home and it's like, that's it. That's the stage.
Right.
We're going to battle in this kitchen, in this living room. It's so fast and it moves very quick. I think that scene could have lasted a little longer and it could have been a little better. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, the ending in general, it just didn't punch as hard as I thought it was going to be. I kind of felt it already coming throughout the film because the way it ended, right, it was converging all these timelines, all the stories that we built up through the film already. But because we saw everyone's snippet and almost how they interlaced already, it kind of felt flat when they converged because it was already giving that throughout the film. So at the end, I feel that's what really released a lot of the tension as well, was because we already saw kind of how it was all going to come up to the end. So when the end already happened, it wasn't like, oh, well, it's a great twist, And then they tried to add a little twist, right? We saw the twist there with the final scene of how they killed the witch.
Exactly. It was a little twist. You know what I thought also too when I was watching the movie when Alex was in the bathroom and his parents were breaking the doors. Mm-hmm. I was thinking are they gonna fight the curse and not kill him? For some reason, I thought that was probably gonna happen. They'll get to him, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I was hoping for something like that too. Some of their human self,
Yeah, like the human soul come back
to break through,
break a little bit of the curse for a few seconds. Yeah, I
but
thought that too.
all of it at the end was just weird. Like, what was the witch even doing with the kids? They were just in the basement hanging out.
She had the worst plan.
It didn't make any sense.
That was not planned at all. I'm going to steal a bunch of kids and bring them to the home where I'm already being investigated for crimes.
Yeah, and then there was just some like plot holes to it in the film. Like, she snipped the teacher's hair, Justine, to try to kill her by sending the principal after her.
But she could have just killed her.
But she could have just killed her.
Yeah.
She could have just controlled her body and made her, just off herself or something, But no, instead, like, they had the principal try to kill her. I guess to try to tie up loose ends, but still, it just kind of felt like, why? I don't know. It wasn't like, it was too fast paced for how the film was. And in general, honestly, I think the movie itself was just too long, ironically, for how fast paced the end was. I feel like overall, they should have cut down the characters. Should have only had 3 characters. The teacher, Archer, and the child. That's it. Spend more time on each of them, building up the tension overall, and then have
more enemies. I think more enemies, more zombies would have been cooler. Like more zombie time, like more things with zombies running around doing strange things would have been absolutely more acceptable for me.
Yeah,
because I don't like that there was really only like one core zombie-ish scene, and the rest was like in the house, but it really didn't like hit as hard as that one scene, like at the gas station. That was like the highlight of the whole movie. Yeah. It's like the best zombie scene or enemy scene in general.
I felt in general that was a little comical and cheesy. Like it was just running like across town. Like,
I agree. He's doing the Naruto run across town. Yo, he was fast too, bro. He was getting it.
Didn't he get hit by something and then he stopped? He like rolled over.
Yeah, I was like, that. He's moving, bro.
It was too much, man. That's why I said like that. It had a point, and then like the last third of the movie just fell apart. All that it just put up so well throughout.
Yeah,
it became a comedic movie at that point. That just it was fun, but
yeah. It starts off as paranormal, then you go into zombie land-ish. But they didn't give us enough zombies. It's a very like small amount of zombies. You go into the home scene. The home scene was also cut very, very short. And then they hit us with the ending, and we didn't really see that ending coming. It was just so quick, I really didn't think when he snapped the
branch
that would be it.
Right.
That would chase her down and like rip her apart. And that was it.
I actually liked that. I thought it was kind of a cool twist. And I still have theories about that. Was that Alex was a witch, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was or wasn't. So, like, where did the tree branches come from? Were they any tree?
Yeah. This directing actually feels more like M. Night. It feels more like something he
It did in the beginning. It really did. And I love M. Night.
Well, even the ending and everything, because he normally does these strange things like that. But it felt more like M. Night to me now that I think of it.
But he comes a little bit like way left field on the ending. Not so comical and fun like the movie was doing.
So what would you rate this movie? How do you feel about it?
Right. So, I mean, it was unique in its own way. It had a lot of different parts or different pieces of it compared to a traditional horror film. I mean, I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah, I'd give it somewhere around a 6. But
yeah.
Shout out to the new IPs. Like, at least we got new stuff coming, right? Like,
yeah. For the creative direction and everything, I gave it a bump. The characters also were pretty good. It was too fluffy and too long. I'm not gonna rewatch it. It's not something I would rewatch, honestly. I mean,
yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think it has any rewatchability at all because there's really not much to the movie that is stuck out to me. I still want to know what this tree is about.
Yeah, did they even talk about it?
Where did it come from? What does it do? Can we get more trees? Like. Can we start a farm or grow farm? Like, what's the situation with the tree?
For sure.
In conclusion, Weapons is a movie full of potential, especially in the first 2 acts. But the third act shifts the tone so much that it feels disappointing. It raises interesting questions about grief, but gives answers that doesn't do justice to the story's depth.
Well, that's our take on Weapons, a film that pulls you in, then lets you down. But hey, that's just maybe our take on it. Maybe you saw it differently. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care.